How are we all doing? Another day, another round. I am Mason from PM Chess, and we continue our coverage of the Olympiad, Ghana's point of view. Um, as always, you can recommend, but I'll prioritize focusing on Ghana's games before the other games. So if you do want to suggest, you can always feel free to do so. Round 8 was terrible. We only had one win, but the good thing about the one win that we had means that now Bernard is also eligible for a candidate mastership. Give me a second, I'll be right back. I was saying that there's a little bit of work going on in the house. Give me a second. So yes, we're going to start with Ghana's games. Hasford. You know, is it just me or like everybody seems to get these complex positions when they play? I feel like whenever I was playing chess yesterday off stream, and when I played my games, I was like, why do my positions always look so simple? All right, like they look so simple. I mean, when you look at these guys, then they have this pawn tension here, hanging piece here, double pawns here. Like they always have these strange positions. But most often when I'm playing, my positions are very simple, and I always wonder, you know, d5, knight f3, e6, c4, knight f6, knight c3, d takes c4, bishop g5, c5, and then we have e3. I think I know this. This should be standard. It's also similar to it, like I think Queen's Gambit accepted with these funny lines. I guess it's possible there'll be a trade here and white will have this isolated queen's pawn. And like I said, I hate playing IQ piece. But I learned from Hasford some years ago. About how to play against this position. Yeah, so like I was saying, I learned from Hasford that the way to play this IQ piece is that you should prevent your opponent from advancing, right? You should not allow this pawn to move. So normally you see moves like, for example, like the knight coming in here, preventing this pawn from pushing. Those are the normal things I think we are to expect. You just don't want this pawn to become very strong, is the whole point. So white defends this pawn and black prevents it from moving. But what I think he also said, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry about that. What he said is that black focuses too much on this pawn, which allows white to develop around the pawn. and thereby creating chances. That's, if I remember it very well. I hate IQPs. If you love IQPs, then I also don't like you. But that is basically the position we have on the board here. So bishop takes c4, and possibly we'll get this if he wants to play this, which you could argue for. I don't think white would black would want to allow a simplification of the position in this way. This is very symmetrical, very boring. Okay, white does maybe, for example, have this, and then you can try for something. But I don't think they want to go for such a route. I think it's just crazy. So I think the most likely option is to just take, and after pawn takes, then the game develops from there. Or he could actually go like takes, then knight takes. And again, we are getting into these types of positions. But in this case here, the knight is not so much pinned. So you could play this, and then if takes, you are fine. I mean, it depends on you. Can you play with this? If you can, that's completely fine. It still says round 8. I edited it to say round 9. I've literally edited. Let me redo that. I've edited it to say round 9, but it's still saying round 8. Thank you for that, Muloma. That sucks. Come on. R9. Come on. Has it changed? That's very funny. Anyways, so we're just trying to figure out what this position could transpire into. And I'm just suspecting a queen's gambit, an isolated queen's pawn position. These are very normal positions, which, if you're like me, you always avoid. I mean, Akwanda. He's playing black, so we expect a Scandinavian from Akwanda if his opponent plays e4. Knight f3, d5, d4, knight f6, c4, c6. This is a Slav. Okay, entering into Catalan territory. e6, bishop g2, knight bd7, queen to c2, bishop e7. Again, it's not wrong. I'm just wondering, like, I'm seeing things in games which I'm thinking are not right or are inaccurate. Again, it's completely fine. Engine supports this move 1000%. It always feels lacking. And I always wonder, like, can somebody explain why you would prefer putting the bishop here instead of here? Again, I know some reasons why, but I think that as a, even if not as a rule, but I think that you should always desire to put your bishop here, regardless of the fact that there's a fianchetto position here. Right? I know in the Jubava landing you prefer this sort of, but anyways, can someone explain the nuance to me? Why you would prefer it there? I have my own understanding of why, but if you can explain it to me, I'll be very happy with that one as well. Bishop e2, castles. Knight b to d2, rook e8, e4, knight takes e4, takes, and then we have this sort of Scandinavian looking position, which of course he knows how to play. Most straightforward, obvious move is this. You can't really play this exactly like a Scandinavian, because the negatives of the Scandinavian don't exist, right? Or they do. Yeah. This is actually, I think this might even be worse, but as a Slav, I think it's completely fine. The main idea should be d5 in this position. After knight here, do we keep the pressure? No, there's no real way to keep pressure. You could do this by running into this, so I don't know if that's really on your radar. Do we just stay behind the pawn, preparing to bring our knight in here so we can target here? That could be a move. What could be a plan here? I'm thinking about this position in a Scandinavian way, which is why, like, I'm predicting this knight to f6 maneuver. Problem for me is where I'll put this queen. here maybe this way, so that you can develop your bishop more actively. Or you could decide to go a more Catalan route and then put the bishop on b2 here with plans of d5. So for example, like b2, b3, sorry, bishop b2, rook ad1, rook fe1, d5, and hope for some sort of plan here with the bishops and the knights and everything. h4, h5, my favorite plan, h4, h5. You could hope for any of these things, and oh, lighten, mercy. Sometimes I wish I was fair. Anyways, not for any specific reason apart from the fact that I will not look so black and need more lighting. Change the contrast, it makes me still look awkward. Anyways. So yeah, these are the things I'm expecting. I may not stream all the way to the end like I normally do, which ends around like 5:30 p.m. I might end 4:30, an hour earlier, because I have to prepare for a program this evening. So bear with me. We'll be here for a while. We'll be here for quite a while. It's 1:42. We'll be here for about an hour and 40 minutes. So yeah, bear with me. If I could go a little bit longer, I would, but bear with me. Anyways, Bernard, the soon-to-be candidate master, another Catalan, takes. Should we call this the exchange Catalan? We have c6, bishop to e3. I mean, do you guys like this type of playing style where your opponent is basically just doing all these anti-positional moves which you were told never to play in chess? I just don't like it, you know? Simple chess is all you need, right? You don't do any of this fancy stuff. Simple chess is all you need. Okay. Today is Friday, right? Okay, cool. Queen to c7 is the move that was played. And now we can look at this position. Oh no, it doesn't work. I was thinking of a fancy idea of this. And the point but the point I was trying to make is, can we play this? But it doesn't work, don't worry. I'm just trying to be fancy. Here and then make some interesting moves. I mean, I don't really. You think by now I'd have understood these positions, but then not fully. Just leaving it to common play, I think we're going to get rook here with pawn push, or even pawn push in the next move. Is the most likely thing. Maybe the queen comes back, and then we go for a queenside assault. Again, I'm using the direction of the bishops to kind of show. I don't know if those plans are viable. If anything at all, I think the whole point of developing the queen here is to kind of make it hard for your opponent to develop the bishop, which looks questionable. Okay, maybe the point is, if this, then the position is breaking up. Let's say this, and then you try to play this move. Nah, I don't think this is it. It can't be that, right? So here, okay, he plays rook ad1. Okay, I mean, that's a natural developing move. It just makes me think that, okay, maybe this is not really the goal. The queen side is not really the goal. And which is interesting. Here, no. I'm expecting plans of e4. So maybe rook, knight, jumps in. I mean, the knight cannot do anything here, can it? There's no good square for the knight there. Knight here. Nah. How do we get this bishop free? Do we simply just go rook here, and then the knight jumps back, the bishop develops, and then the knight goes back to where it already was? So for example, like rook here, because we are trying to do this. Let's say our opponent comes back with the queen. Then we have knight back with ideas of bringing the bishop out to this square, and then developing the rook to d8. That looks like a plausible idea you could play. It looks very plausible. Maybe slow, but plausible. I mean, of course, the knight doesn't necessarily have to come back. It could always develop itself here. But there's no merit to it coming there. Okay, maybe now you have pawn this way, right? Maybe now you can develop your knight to this square. But after knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, rook takes, rook takes. That's just not good for you. So possibly the plan is going to have the plan for white here, black here, is going to be h4, h5. And I think white, on the other hand, despite the fact that the rook has gone here, I still believe that white is aiming for ideas here. It's possible he just got the rook out of here because he was wondering about this. In which case, I would have like expected him to go this way. But again, rooks belong behind open files. So just as a rule, I think it's a fine move to play. Yeah, so rook ad1 is the move. This is the actual position on the board. Just trying to figure out plans. I don't know who's actually going to go for this idea, but one person will. Why is this monitor? Woo! And the final game on the men's section. Clinton is playing as black. e4, c6, d4, d5, e5. Advanced Karukan, I think is the most popular. Either that or his opponent steady his game, because the last time Clinton played in this structure, I think he lost. No, he didn't lose. He entered a very bad middle game, but then managed to claw his way out. So if his opponent has steadied that game, okay, this is a different move than the last time. In the other game, I think his opponent played knight. His opponent played knight. No, not knight. I think it was here. Then after takes, I can't remember, but he played some move. I think it was knight. I think he played a knight. After c5, I think his opponent played knight. And then after takes, after take, he went knight takes. Queen comes in check. Knight this way. I can't remember. I tried. Ooh, we struggle. I tried. We can always load up the game, but I tried. Bishop to c5, all standard stuff. All this is fine. We can have a trade here. Okay. The normal developing moves you would expect from even a Scandinavian or a Karokan, depending on what version the opponent is going to go for. The quick development of the bishop challenges this guy's development. There's no pins here at the moment. You are possibly going to continue on knight to target this. Sometimes the opponent defends with the f pawn move. Okay, here you can go a5. You may not necessarily have to, because now you can even go like queen here, and if your opponent plays this, you just take, because if he takes, you are just winning, right? Always fun. You don't have to play that move. Yeah, so the fact that a3 has been made, you don't always have to play a5. Though a5 is fine and could be warranted for here. This just, I think, leads to a bad position. I just think this leads to a bad position. So maybe you don't want to play this move as black. Yes, I personally would go a5, because I mean after the check here, I don't really see, because this move just doesn't help. So personally, I'd go a5. You could try the queen a5, but that's fine. So here you could I think a5. I think if knight, your opponent just plays pawn push, right? I think if knight, this just happens. And okay, I think we are fine there. So maybe the move is going to be this way. This prevents, or this at least slows down the idea of pawn push. You could maybe go check takes first. So that after takes, then knight here. Your knight holds this pawn. Then knight here to come in here to target this, and then eventually you castle. Knight here as well. Those may be possible moves that black is looking forward to playing in this position. I think that's what he's looking forward to playing. Okay, from the girls or the female section, we start with my friend Hebba. Hopefully she wins this. They are playing against Sao Tome and Principe. E4, E6. French, right? D4, D5. Oh no, I hope Maxwell doesn't train here. If Maxwell is the training here, that's why she's losing. E takes D5, E takes D5, knight F3, knight F6. Bishop D3. We have an exchange French. Oh, that's so boring. Not at this level though. Castles. C3, C6. Okay. H3. Bishop to E6. Knight BD2. Knight BD7. C4. D takes C4. Interesting way to develop this way. Interesting way to develop this way. Okay. This prevents the whole symmetrical structure because, for example, if in this position you go this way, your opponent takes. If you take back, it's a symmetrical pawn structure. I mean, so you could argue that I could just take this way and develop, but maybe she wants to keep it closed for ideas like this, or just to hold the pawn. I mean, either way, it's fine. We have knight to E3. Rook E8, knight to E3. And this is the current position we have on the board. So we have a weak D pawn for white. Just a weak D pawn for white. I can't really do much at this moment. A very nice output for your knight would be here. Knight to D5 is acceptable. You could just try to solve background problems, make a passive move like this or prophylactic move like this, and before you try something of this sort. I mean, you could also just go this way. And the point being, if your opponent tries to trade off the knight, you can always bring the knight back. That's the sole reason why I'm advocating for this whole idea. But regardless, even if you jump into D5 and your opponent takes, you don't have to take with the pawn. Before you discuss this, you can take with the bishop, bring the bishops in, and then we charge against our opponent. Okay. I saw at the male section, I saw, is it Cote d'Ivoire? Or is it Cote d'Ivoire? I forget, or Liberia, one of them. Maybe we'll pass by their games and see what's going on. Okay, so we did get knight D5. And again, if your opponent takes, you take with the bishop. If you don't want the same pawn structure, you take with the bishop. If your opponent doesn't take, that's a different question. That's a different question to be asked. Bertolosson, what's up? Welcome. I mean, the highlight of yesterday's games were candidate mastership. That's about it. Forget about every other thing. We didn't see whatever happened yesterday. All we saw is that somebody became a candidate master. Or somebody is eligible for a candidate mastership. If that's the right way to call it. So yeah, good. Yesterday was very good. Hope you enjoyed the games. Like sometimes we are on form, sometimes we are not on form, which is very sad. Knight takes D5. Wait, we're not looking at this game. D4, D5. Oh, G-Jaw. Why doesn't G-Jaw and the rest make me happy like Toby and Gertrude has been doing? Toby, Gertrude, and Hebba have been doing. G-Jaw is not making me happy. And what I mean is playing the openings I like, right? London system, Kolizuka, Twat, these things make me happy. Okay, C5, C6, Slav, takes, exchange Slav, knight C3. Sorry, knight F6, bishop F4. Please, it's not a London system. Don't be deceived. It looks like a Jubava London system, but this is just sad. Knight C6, E3. Bishop F5, queen to B3. I mean, she's playing this very well, putting the pressure on your opponent. Rook coming in here with ideas of this to threaten a fork. The London is boring. You are so lucky I can't kick people off the stream. You'd be off the stream. The isolated queen's pawn position seems dry. It mostly always seems dry, or it's mostly dry, at least in my experience of looking at games with it. Just a few exciting games, yeah, but yeah, these kind of positions usually end up being like that. And with these drawish positions, the person who wins is the person who has more experience and the person who understands positions more. Because though the position is dull and boring, it's because of certain factors. And if you don't know what those factors are and you can't take advantage of those factors, you are going to lose a drawn game, like most of us do, right? I was recently watching some of my videos and I was winning a game and I didn't know the winning technique. So the win turned into a draw. And there are other games where it's a draw and I don't know the technique and the draw becomes a loss, you know. So at this level, even though this position is plain and dry and we all know that it's plain and dry, you shouldn't accept a draw, right? You shouldn't say that, oh, this position is still and dry, so it's a draw. No, you don't even know the technique, right? Your opponent is going to blunder at some point. So yeah, it's a draw for the top players. So anything that the top players say doesn't apply to us. Anything the top players say that doesn't apply to us. You need new openings. Maybe you just need a new variation of the opening you are playing. Study the variations that lead to the positions you don't like and try to avoid them if you can. Unless, of course, it's forced that you have to get into that variation, right? So for me in the learning system, I try to play variations that avoid certain things. There are times my opponents force me into those lines, and if that happens, yes, so be it. But regardless, I try and pick the lines that avoid so many things. So for example, how is this plain and drawn? Well, if you okay, maybe white is going to play this at some point. But for example, if you were to draw a line in the middle of this board, it looks like a reflection. Right, it looks like a reflection. It looks like a mirror image, right? These positions, if you don't know what you are doing, you can lose. But more or less, when things look very symmetrical, when things look very plain and simple, they end up being draws. At least in my experience, right? The pawns on both sides of the board are the same, right? 4 pawns on the king side, 4 pawns on the queen side, 2 pawns here, 2 pawns here. There's no imbalance. There's no imbalance. What wins games is imbalances, the differences between the position, right? So if there are differences in the position, we can then work on those differences to create like potential in the position. But in a position like this where there's no difference, there's no imbalance, that's when we get the draw. So somebody has to try and force something, right? So a move like this, which I think is bad, like of course right now is defended, but like a move where you try and trade your knight for the bishop is a way to create an imbalance of minor pieces, right? F3, E4, these type of like just trying to create some sort of imbalance in the position is what you're going to aim for. So that's why this is plain and drawn. Very good. You play the Italian with white. I mean, Italian is very nice. Why don't you try with C3? The line with C3. You can go and research Gary Kasparov's games. The ones where he puts the bishops on both C2 and then C2 and C1 with C3. Those lines are very nice. Stop playing the London. Muloma, you are forcing my hand. to sack you from this stream. You know, I have to now take note of everyone who has insulted the landing and hold a Simon and beat them with the landing. And once I beat them with the landing, I'll hold a class with them and I'll teach them to play the landing. And they will have to play the landing for the next month. And I'll always check their recent games, whether Blitz or whatever. For the next 1 month, I'll just check their games. And if they don't play the landing system, they will have to subscribe. Anyways. So I get hit with the Caro, the French, and Scandi. You can't learn all those lines. Oh, you can. With Caro and French, you can basically get the same lines. You can basically get the same lines. I don't know if I can. I don't know. Because if anything at all, you can even get these boringish lines, right? I think this is what you may be referring to. I mean, you can always choose to go for, if they do this, you can always choose to go for the advance, which is very tactical, and it leaves a lot in the position. Then there's wait, I'm playing d4. There's something wrong with me. e4, c6. You can also play this if you want. Right? You don't like these isolated queen pawn positions, is what you were saying. You don't like these types of positions. I mean, this is not boring. This is not boring. There's already a straightforward imbalance of pawns. It's not boring, right? You just have to learn the technique. What line do I know? I know what's his name? Gotham Chess talks about the fantasy variation with f3. You could learn that against the Caro. Then there's you say the French. French kind of gets you the same way. Exchange French is also boring, but you can also choose this whole funny lines just to avoid it. Is f3 a good move after queen b3? Let's see. Oh yeah, it is. It's fine. It's a fine move. Yeah. Just always be aware of the ramifications of any move you make. Right? Always be aware of the ramifications. Yes, you can play f3 here, but then what could occur after you play this move? Yeah. Personally, I wouldn't play f3 in this position for one or two reasons, but it's playable. It's definitely playable. It resembles a Carlsbad structure with the c pawns off the board. With the c pawn off the board, and with the Carlsbad structure, f3 is a plausible idea. One of the main reasons you play that is because you want to prevent giving your opponent this very good position. Over here, your opponent plays knight a5, check, and then we get this. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Knight. Okay, she's already in a good. What? Wait, do we have that? Do we have just this? Takes, and then here. Does this work in any way, shape, or form? Like, you really just hold your opponent down here. I mean, he can go back, so maybe it's not so big of a deal. But what I like about this whole thing is that after takes, your opponent has to take this way, and now your rook takes over. And this is looking more active for white, right? White seems to be more active here. Right, this line looks more active for white. But then again, is there any intermezzo for doing this whole idea? Knight jumps in, sorry. Knight jumps in with check. This is mate, so the king something has to be done. Queen takes is wrong, so you have to play rook takes. Taking here, I'm losing a piece, so I just have to go here. Aha, this is actually the problem. Yeah, intermezzo, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if there's a in-between move, there's a problem there. Yeah, I play exchange in French and Caro because I don't like to deal with the traps and such. But then if you go for the exchange, sincerely speaking, right now it works. But if you go for the exchange, as you improve, you begin to see how stale and boring the position is. You see the position and like, ah boy, not this again. I mean, that's what happened to me. So that's why sometimes I avoid certain lines, simply because I realize that, okay, it's going to be some way. The reason why currently I play those positions a lot is because if it's drawn, I have to draw it. So I put it to myself that, okay, you claim this position is draw it. Whilst I'm playing, I'm also trying to find out, okay, are there ways I can create threats or make my opponent feel uncomfortable? So just to become a better chess player overall, I think it's a good idea to at least give it a try. Wait, can we, is this really over? Oh, it comes with check. If it didn't come with check, for example, let's just do it like this. If it didn't come with check, I was looking at this, and I think this would have won us the game. That would have been so beautiful. Anyways, it comes with check, so we end off our analysis there. And here we have e6. Oh, does this work? Queen takes, just stops it. Is that French also boring? Now we are friends. Muluma, now we are friends. I like, now we are friends. I like that. French is boring. It is not also boring. It is the most boring opening you can ever play. The French is basically shorthand for poor man's character. I like that. I like that. Yeah, it comes with check. Yeah, if it didn't come with check, that would have been interesting. C4 after the exchange. Oh, okay. After the exchange, French, he says, right? Takes. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Trying to make something different in the position. I think that's completely fine. You can definitely go for that. I think that's completely fine. Yeah. So this is the position we are in now. Like, how do you create chances here? What Gijo has managed to do is to slow down black. So if that's a plan to keep her opponent from castling, that's fine. You have to continue with this move. That way, castling still doesn't make any sense. And maybe you force your opponent to make a concession like this, in which case you can trade off. Your opponent can't take with the queen, right? Because they take with the queen, they lose their knight. So yeah, I think she has done a good job, right? Because bishop, now the knight jumps in, and yeah. I should play c4 against you. I mean, that'll have to be next week. Because of the coverage of the Olympiad, I've not been playing. Actually, today is the day I play against viewers when I'm normally streaming. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. So next week, Friday, if you come along, I can definitely play against you. I can play c4 all the way, right? So yeah, there's no problem with that. So yeah, I'm looking at 90. I just want to figure out how does she deal with this, because you can't castle and you can't allow me to take. I don't know about this move. Does it help? Because I'm thinking about how we can continue to push for something here. I send link. That would not be today, like I said. Oh, okay, Beto wants to play against you. Okay, so Beto, Worry Gold, Beto will play against you. Can we do this for the fun of it? Because queen takes. Do we have anything here? Aha, yes, queen takes, and then we can actually go takes here. And this guy is hanging, this guy is under attack. You take here, I can simply go this way. And you castle, but then your position is not looking so fine. Oh, actually, I'm dumb. This is also there, yeah. I'm missing the points. Yeah, so he doesn't have to castle, he can just go this way. This way. Tough guy, you know where to find me. Then let me show you something. Yeah, so that is it. Yeah, that is how I see it. So there was a time when I was playing chess, I wouldn't think about just sacrificing the rook, but nowadays when you start seeing possibilities, you know. The knight is just hanging from the beginning. I mean, he only has one defender, and it cannot be defended. I mean, you could play this. But then yeah. Actually, it's not so bad, right? Because once the queen, okay, the queen can't do anything. Yeah, you can't do anything. Yeah, I've not turned on the engine, so I don't really know what the engine thinks about this position. But maybe I'm favoring Gijo too much, but this position is looking like white is winning. Especially after this move. It just looks like white is winning, because here you can't castle. If you play f3, I take, you take, and I just take here. And I don't see the stress. Maybe you could do that. Nah, it doesn't work, because takes, then we have this. Yeah, and we looked at the rook blocks line, and we were analyzing some funny business here, which doesn't actually work. But the rook blocks also like deals with this, right? So after like rook blocks, you can just literally take here. If takes, you can reignite your position here. Again, this is straightforward. I'm not looking at intermezzo moves. I'm just looking at straightforward. So let's see, what does the engine think after bishop to e7? I'm just thinking that white is doing very well here. Engine's about to tell me black is better. Okay, white is better. Yes. That's why I don't turn on the engine. It makes the stream slaggy. Yeah. Toby, please tell me Toby's playing as white. No! If Toby played as white, would have seen a London system. Almeida. Okay, I mean, it's like everybody plays the Caro-Kann in Ghana. There was a point in time I was even learning the Caro-Kann. Yeah, so you can even adopt this strategy. Very good. We have e4, e4, c6, knight f3, d4, d5. Then you just go this way. I don't know if it's the traditional or whatever I call it, but this is a, you can try this. It's fine. It looks fine, at least. And okay, we have a game here. These pawns are looking funny, but yeah, it makes sense. They are counteracting this guy, just as these guys are counteracting this guy. Bishop to e7 is the plan, just to develop the knight and then capture this guy, because that doesn't work. Rook a to e1. Sometimes when I see this move, I'm always thinking that they want to sacrifice somewhere here. Yes, it does. I don't disagree with the fact that it creates an illusion of a draw. The thing is, again, like I'm saying, it's at high levels. Everything that when I say that, it applies at very high levels. If you give this position to like 1200, the likelihood of it being a draw is like 10%. I mean, that's I'm just giving a strange value, but yeah. The point is, you should still play. That's what I was trying to advocate for. You should just play and find out if it's a draw, can I still draw it rather than lose it? And if it's a win, can I? And if I can, and even if it's a drawn position, are there ways I can try to create winning chances? Magnus had an interview where somebody asked him that after this move, didn't you know the game? At what point did you know the game was a draw? Now the reason why they said that was, I think that game went on for hours. And people were getting angry with like them that you guys are grandmasters, you should know this is a draw and you don't draw it. So when they asked that question, actually Magnus got a little bit pissed and he said that, yes, I knew immediately that the position was a draw. I knew that the position was a draw, but I saw that if I could do this and this and this and this and this, if my opponent doesn't react adequately, I could possibly win the game. You know, so even though it's drawn by principle or by the normal understanding of chess, you should still try something. You know, I'm not saying that it's drawn, so just forget about it. It's just that when you improve in chess, the likeliness of you getting any benefit out of that opening is just funny. I think he wants to go here, but no, actually that doesn't work, right? Because here he just plays this and there's no real strategy here. Actually, wait, let's just make a funny move here. Let's say this. No, we have this, or we don't. Why does this thing always catch me? Intermezzo is always catching me. I still think this is better for black. With hanging here, hanging there. I think this is better for black. Maybe. Oh, minor drainage. Why? I don't need that. Nobody plays e5 anymore. Against this. People do. People still do that. People still do that. Who is this? H5 is under pressure. Oh. H4 is under pressure. Yes. No, he can't play it here. Again, I'm talking ideas. Please, I'm not like the grandmasters who can easily see like an accurate move and then talk about it. I'm talking ideas. Right? So you can aim for something like that. The point is not even about your opponent even pushing here. The point is sacrificing to get this move. So I think even if here the obvious, after this move that he was played, the obvious move is to just go back. That's like the obvious move, which again we are looking at it creating this. If our opponent allows it, we are looking at this. Queen comes in here, you can always take, and if takes, then I take queen g2, and then all those yada yada stuff. So it's just ideas I'm speaking in. Just see the potential ideas that could come up in the position. I don't know if this would be a move. He could also just try this, which I think white wants. Actually, this wrong. Sorry, wrong way to capture back. Here, or yeah. Actually, even before you capture there, can you just do this? I'm sure he will escape with the bishop. If I was white, I would escape with the bishop, which I mean you don't want to. So, so maybe here. In which case you can just trade off, right? Takes. You take with the queen, right? And then you just come back here. And now we are looking at another kind of boringish position. Now we are looking at another kind of boring position. Wait, Gertrude should be getting, like, how many wins has she gotten? Give me a second. Let's go to Gertrude's game and see. Sack the knight on c7 instead, because knight takes c7, queen takes c7, bishop. I mean, isn't it almost the same thing? I'll look it up. Give me a second. I just want to check something here with Gertrude. How many games has she played? 1, 2, 3, 4. And out of 4 games, she's drawn 2 and she's won 1. So she's at 2. If she wins this game and draws her next game, she qualifies for the candidate mastership, at least from what I've learned. Which is cool. I said we sacrifice the knight on c7. Let's try that. I thought it's almost the exact same thing. Let's say here. Takes here. What's the difference after this? What's the difference? Is it not the same? What's the difference? Takes. Ah. All right. C2. Oh yeah, C2. Yeah, C2. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, what's the difference between these two sacrifices? What's the difference between these two? Because I mean, isn't this the exact same thing we're thinking about? I don't think it's really that different. I don't think it's that different. I think it's completely fine. Okay, so we get queen here, which is boring. I looked at this and I was like, this move doesn't look exciting. You can't force queen trades. I mean, in both variations you can't. Wait. Your point? Yeah, in both you can't force queen trades. The point is just to win the exchange, not really the queen thing. It's basically to go up and exchange, winning the rook. Winning the rook and some pawns. 2 pawns and a rook for your knight and your bishop, which is one better than the usual one. Of course, that's a bad trade, but just looking at it to see if it's possible. I don't know about this. It does prevent us from coming here. No, it doesn't prevent us from coming here. Wait, it does. Okay, but we can just play this move. Trade off the bishops. Or we can just go for this, right? No, if he takes you the pawn, we've already succeeded with what we wanted to do. Wait, no, that's wrong. Why am I complicating things? Because if you take here, it's checkmate. Sorry. Give me a second. Okay, we can jump here and then repeat, right? Now I'm sure then he's going to play this. After which takes here, then he's going to come here again. Which of course doesn't so much work this time, because we could go for a draw here, but none of them is going to do that, right? If the knight jumps back, attacking the queen, and the queen goes back, I think he's just going to go trade. Oh boy. If not for the checkmate threat, I mean, knight here and these guys are hanging. So maybe here you play this. Point being, bishop takes, queen takes, and now there are weaknesses. Trade dark squared bishops. That is a nice idea, right? Because this is a very big pressure piece. But what's going to happen is if you play this, your opponent is going to come in here. There's no need to trade because there are issues on the square. If you start with this, he starts with this. And yeah, there's nothing more. Okay, so yeah, if you take that, he has to take first. And if you take with the queen, which is what I'm actually hoping for, we can create these problems. And then the endgame is looking nice for us. Of course, your opponent has to be quick and then take here first. But we got bishop to f6. Yep. Trying to trade off the bishops. We got bishop to f6. So I'm expecting either this or just trading off. Maybe here, but I think here you're just helping your opponent at this point. Cause maybe this is fine. Maybe this is fine. If I get a chance, I want to look at Quick Pen's game. Gertrude is playing as white. What did she play? D4, D5, bishop f4. Ah, nice. I like that. I like that. That's why she's my girl. I like that. Anyways, bishop to f4, c5. Best way to play against it. The last time her opponent played this, she messed up. But just play. No. Do I use MTN broadband? No, we are still using Telecel. But why do you ask? Why do you ask? Bishop c1, king h8. Ah, yeah, that's also true. Yeah, bishop c1, king h8. That's also true. Yeah, that way the bishop takes, you just capture back. Yeah, that's also very possible. Yeah, that's also very possible. Yeah, so c5. Mostly you go this way. Your opponent continues with this move, and after c3 here, black goes this way, and after queen comes in here, pawn push. Takes, and black is better, or black is preferred. So there are ways people do try to fight against this, with, for example, knight here. The point is, once the queen comes in here, I do have this move, and now I'm targeting this square. So that's one way some people try to play against it. But of course, I don't really remember the line here. I have to go and refresh my memory. I don't often get hit this badly with it. But yeah, there's so many lines you can try here. So so I wanted to mention something. One of the reasons why I prefer to play the landing system with bishop to f4 instead of knight f3, bishop f4 is because I want to avoid this. I want to avoid knight f3, bishop g4. It's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. And sometimes it can really mess up your landing system. So either way, you can still play the game. It doesn't mean that now you are losing. So some landing system players, what they do is they hold out until their opponent plays this move, right? So they wait. The moment the opponent plays e6, then they jump in. Or the moment their opponent comes in this way, then they jump in, because now you have to waste another move, right? So these are some of the things that we look at. Move order, so on and so forth. Knight f3, bishop g4, knight bd2, e6, bishop to d3, c4, and this is normally considered bad. You want to keep the tension. Here you clarify the tension and it becomes a little bit easier to play. But then again, because of this move, it's not as good for white as it normally would be if your opponent played this move. Says Barry Gold, who also doesn't remember the lines. You just said you don't remember the lines. You just said you don't remember your lines, bro. The reason I said I don't remember the lines is, you know, I always talk about the fact that there's always these tactical openings. Yeah, that whole line leads to a certain kind of tactical position I don't remember. I don't remember the tactical way to play it. The tactical way is considered the better way, but I prefer the simple way. So I don't remember the tactical way. If you want the simple lines, I can give you the simple lines. Okay. You know, I also used to do this until I realized that it doesn't help. Because after this, your opponent gets what they want. So mostly, I allow my opponent. It may seem counterintuitive to allow your opponent, right? Because it creates weaknesses, but it's completely fine. Let's see here. And then if they play pawn push, aren't you fine? You are fine. But if they don't and they go this way, you're still fine. Some people don't like playing this type of position, but it's still fine. Where are we? A3. Wait, let me promote the main line. Bishop. You see, you normally okay. E5. I like that. Wait, is that ill prepared? That's a bit ill prepared, isn't it? Okay, no, the queen takes over. Yeah, that's fine. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Okay, so bishop takes, pawn takes, and then e5. Okay, takes, queen takes. You don't have this asset. This is not looking good for white. Yeah, but now you can get hit with e5. Your opponent can just trade off here. C4 is almost always bad if the white pawn is on e4. But if it's on e3, then it's not so bad. Oh, okay. That's new information for me. That's new information for me. Takes. Huh. Yeah, black is dismantling the London system, which should not happen, right? This should not happen. If white pawn is on e5, okay. Yeah, unfortunately, now, if Gertrude is losing with the London system, it's not the London system that's losing. It's Gertrude that's losing, because the London system never loses, right? If held the right way. I mean, if you hold a sword at the blade instead of the handle, you don't expect to do damage, do you? Right? You don't really expect to deal damage except to yourself. So instead of wielding a deadly weapon, she didn't wield it the proper way, and that's why she's losing. If she held the weapon the proper way, she definitely win this position. So guys, don't use this as evidence that the London system is bad. Rather understand that her opponent, rather understand that Gertrude did not handle the weapon properly. You know, yeah. So it's not the London system that lost. It's the best opening in the world. It's the best opening in the world. Even Magnus Carlsen endorses the London system. I will explain, Taya. Oh, don't worry. All I have to do is get to the what's happening to my screen? All I have to do is get to the Olympiad and beat everybody with the London system. That's enough of an explanation, you know. That's all I'm aiming to do. That's enough of an explanation. Knight takes, queen takes, check. So you don't want to take, but then if you do castle here, is this a problem? Knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes. Yeah, this is still a problem for you. This is definitely still a problem for you. Gertrude should come for lessons. I'll teach her the London system. After I've taught her the London system, she'll never lose with it again. What's my win percentage with the London system? I don't remember. Wait. Okay. let's go back to Hasford's game. Easier said than done. Of course, I have to first beat all of you guys. I feel like you guys are just going to shock us. One of the things I don't understand about you guys is that you don't play FIDE tournaments. Or maybe some of you have. I'm always asking Maxwell, like, why don't you guys play FIDE tournaments? Like, that will really test you guys. Since when you play online, okay, it's so easy to deceive yourself that you are doing well. Like, come and sit down at the board and you realize you don't know anything, you know? So you get to the board, they lash you, or what happens to some people is that you come and your first time you kill everybody on the board. We have people like that, right? So I love the fact that you guys are gaining all this experience, but I want you guys to really put your experience into action. So like playing the FIDE tournaments. But I have this sinking feeling. That you guys are just waiting for like maybe the nationals and then you just stomp the yard. It says, well, we are broke, we don't have jobs. Okay, maybe the tournaments are much more expensive these days. I don't know, because when I was a student, I used to fund myself, and sometimes I used to disturb my dad. So I think either ways you can find a way. I mean, since you are within Accra, Legon, you can speak to your. I was the vice president for the University of Ghana Chess Club, and sometimes if you're able to convince the sports directorate, they should help with that. You really have to convince them. You know, I thank God that Toby was the president, because me, I'm not like that, very rigid. Toby can talk you to death. So Toby would just disturb them and get the funds. For me, it would be a difficult, because I'm not like that, you know. It says you don't remember how much you win with the opening, because it's too much. Like, why should I? If I can count the losses, and all those losses was when I did not understand the opening. But from the moment I understood the opening, I've never lost with the London system. 100 cedis is 1 week money. But trust me, like if you do play in 1 or 2 tournaments, you'll be shocked. Your chess skill just goes up. It's strange. I was 1200 for a while. I played in about 1, 2, 3 tournaments. Boom. It's like I understood the whole game of chess. I shot up like 300 points. Don't think too much about the money. Think about the investment, right? Think about the investment. The investment you are making. You know, at some point, we became so good that if there's a chess tournament, like we say, we do this thing where when there's a tournament, we play selection tournament, but it's obvious who's going to win. You know, that kind of thing. We became so, because we're the ones who are playing the tournaments. We became so good that, like, okay, there's a chess tournament, we want Legon to represent. Banaman, me, Toby, Gijo, Clinton, Akins, like it's us. It's always us. So now they'll be like, oh no, we should do a tournament to select. We shouldn't just select. We know. Bro, most chess players lose money than gain money. What are you expecting? But I mean, there are some I mean, the camera I'm using right now, I won it in a chess tournament. Some online chess tournament. I got 3rd place in the tournament, and that's how I got this camera. It's my PC is bad, so that's why I've reduced the quality, but it can go higher than 740p, right? I've dumbed everything down, but I want it in a. I could have asked them to give me in cash, but I just asked them to give this to me. I have weak hands. Well, these days I'm not as strong. Like, you'll be shocked that most of the people on the University of Ghana page are far stronger than me now. Like, I'm so weak. So yeah, I'm not as strong as I used. And right now, you guys are very strong. You have weak hands to hold a chess piece. That's crazy. That's crazy. Where were we? No, I'm enjoying the conversations. Analyzing these positions is difficult. I'm enjoying the conversations. He's referring to you. I see. Wait, weak hands. Are you trying to say that he's weak in general? I think that's. I mean, I always tell people. I lost 100 chess games before I won my first chess game. That's my story from when I was in Achimota school. I remember it because I remember from 100. I forgot from after 100 because I lost more than 100. But I knew that I lost 100 chess games before I won my first chess game. In those days, it was crazy. It was crazy. Castles. Where were we? Takes, and yeah. Okay, he played queen. No, this is not where we got to. Yes, I was expecting this move to come at some point in time. Yeah, so he plays it with tempo, so that it's not like his opponent can just simply get something. But maybe his point is that if bishop takes, then he gets this move. And I think that's what he prefers in this position. Oh, okay, weak hands is a weak chess player. Okay. Bishop to c1. Yeah, so again, this is what you do. You just prevent the pawn from pushing. Skills issue. I mean, if you want to strengthen your hands, all you have to do is learn the landing system. All you have to do is learn the landing system. Just come, I'll give you a landing system course for 3 days. You'll never lose a chess game for the rest of your life. I've never lost a landing chess game when I understood how to hold the weapon. When I did not understand, I was losing, like Gertrude. But now that I understand it, not even Maxwell can beat me. Not even Clinton can beat me. Not even Hasford can beat me. As long as I'm playing white. You can check. I've never played white against them. Have I? Yes, I haven't played white against them. I'm always playing black against them. So how do we continue here? You would want to go knight to e5, but maybe not now. Bishop back h4, h5. I mean, this is the only way you can try and create something. Ideally, shouldn't you focus? Yeah, I think ideally you have to focus on in the center. Trying to distract your opponent to come in here may not really work, because your opponent is really going to start piling up the pressure on this pawn. Already he has just one piece. Bishop comes in here now, he has 2 pieces. The knight jumps somewhere, then he has 3 pieces attacking this guy. So you always have to be like wary of it. You always have to be wary of it. I'm sorry if you can hear the sounds around, but there's stuff going on around. Yeah, not much has happened in this position, but like what we spoke about has come in. On the other side, black is really I don't know, it feels, even though white has the space, I feel like it'd be easier to play black, because I feel like it's easy. I think it's easier to play for black here. Maybe rook e1, rook fe1, knight jumps into this square, queen. I mean, these are just very slow plans that may not even bear any merit. So I'm more eager to see. I'm seeing this as a draw, but I'm more eager to see how Hasford is going to play this position. So after bishop to c1, we have knight here. Huh? Why? Why is the knight coming in here? What? What kind of plan does he have? Is he foreseeing something along these lines and saying, okay, I have this? I mean, he could be looking at that. Now you're doing this. I mean, this just solves the whole problem. I don't know. Knight c to b4. Still trying to figure out the reason behind this move. Here, no. If we get this move, what happens? We just go back, right? So I don't see it. I don't get the point behind this move. Let me ask for engine assistance here, because it doesn't really make much sense. Is it a viable move? Yeah, knight c to b4 is a viable move, but I really don't. Okay, so knight c to b4, and then we get a3. What's the problem with this move? Knight takes c3. Okay, then you capture here. B takes c. Okay. And now you okay, it's no longer an isolated pawn in the center. Now you have this close to a hanging pawn structure. We've mentioned that before. I think that's the case. You've solved the problem of the isolated queen's pawn, and now you can switch to an aggressive idea. You no longer have to watch the pawn so vivid seriously. Wait, that's not the right move. Knight to d5 again. Wait, no. Actually, this is supposed to be good for black. Wait. Why would this be good for black? Is it because now we can... What is so good about this trade? If I defend it, what happens? Rook to c8. Okay, that's the pressure move we're talking about. What about this way? Knight to f4. Okay. Activity. There's no way white will give up the light squared bishop. Ah, well. So the pawn on the c3 is the issue we're looking at here. I mean, isn't this big enough of a weakness? Why focus on c3? And I'm like, why focus on c3? You know? Okay. I think I get it. I think that pawn is more vulnerable and harder to defend for white as compared to this one. Maybe, I have no idea. I was thinking that's actually good, right? But anyways, we have rook to c8. Pressure on the bishop. Here you just get traded off. So here, or we might just get it. We might just get. Should we get a trade here? Wow. Aha. So yeah, this is not looking good. So what happens here is that you have to go this way. Oh, is this still a problem? Okay, so knight takes, queen takes. It's not a problem now, is it? Because the knight isn't defending. Why is it still a problem? Knight to b4. Okay. A3 should be good. Yeah, A3. The engine is looking at A3 and then bishop to D2. I'm just trying to understand the position. I can just look at the engine lines and then recommend those, but I just want to try and figure out the position. So yeah, A3 and back. So yeah. Okay, on to Akpande's game. I mean, anybody who's hoping for anything more than a draw here is delusional. I'm just kidding. That you can get anything, you can get any result from this game. Who keeps challenging me? It's on Fridays, but not today, not this Friday because I'm doing coverage. Chess. Rook AD8. Should we just trade into an endgame? I mean, oh, I think white should press on. White definitely has the advantage here. White definitely has the advantage here. So I'm just giving funny, but these guys really hit. So simply hold on to this pawn. If your opponent takes, this bishop is still sort of like bad. You can play against it. Even with this, now you have ideas of putting your rook on d6. So I mean, this position is just fine. This position is just fine. And if you are just tuning into this channel for the first time, remember to hit the like and the subscribe button on YouTube and the follow button on Twitch. You can also support me monetarily on Twitch. It really does help me out. Anyways, that is it for plugging myself. Let's continue with the games. Oh, the soon-to-be candidate master and Bernard. I mean, Bernard has been playing some amazing chess. There was a game where he was like, it was a rook and pawn endgame, and I was saying this game is completely drawn. He ended up winning. I mean, he's just been doing crazy. Where do we leave this game? Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. Okay. So my guess was correct. So queen to c2 was played. Knight jumps in, bishop goes back, and then the move is b4. I mentioned this whole idea, and thank God I was right. Whew. Knight jumps back, and then we play the move c5, taking more space on the queen side. One of the things you can aim for is to plop your knight in this square. Very, very fun ideas for white here. This is going to be an interesting position to play. So maybe we get bishop back and then the knight here so that the knight is well defended. Actually, how does your opponent deal with the knight if it does get to that square? It doesn't look possible, right? Because let's just play funny aggressive moves. Actually, this move stops it. I was trying to get here, but okay, if e4, your opponent goes f, right? Okay, so here to target these, but I don't think that works. Okay, so I think that's basically it for Bernard's position. Let's go to the golden boy, Clinton. It's hard to believe we were teammates at the point, because right now I'm not close to his skill level. It's sad. There was a time we were all close in skill level, but now we all suck. Okay, I suck. They don't. It's so funny. Where did I go wrong in my chess training? Where did I go wrong? Okay, so he didn't play it immediately. He played the knight first. Wait, but knight first. If this happens, what's your call? Here? Interesting. I've never seen this before. And the point is, if your opponent captures, you can just simply take here. If he takes, you can just take back. You don't have to take this guy. But if he takes, you just take back. Huh. Interesting. So after the knight is developed, that's when he goes this move. Castles, takes, and then we have a queenless middle game. I think he's going to take with the rook, not with the knight. Okay, so rook takes, let's say bishop takes. Do we have this? Is this a good idea to kind of like activate your pieces? I don't know if this is a good idea. I mean, it's quite possible, but I don't know if it's a good idea. Yeah, so he takes with the rook, which is what we expected. Clinton should have like 3 points. Yeah, so he's also going to, if he manages to draw this game, he gets a candidate master. Wait, what? Clinton hasn't won. Wait, he's lost some games. What's this? It's only showing. Am I? Wait. Has Clinton not lost a game? He has. Wait, what? But I recall he lost a game against someone. I recall he has lost a game. But regardless, he's at 3 points. I wanted to just... The reason I want to know is because I want to know if he has played 7 straight games. Right? From what Maxwell explained to us, it's if you get 3.5 out of 7. Not just 3.5, but 3.5 out of 7. So what I'm trying to figure out is if he has... Like how many total games he has played. Because if it's saying he has played 3 and he has won all 3, I don't know how true that is. He lost the game to 2200, yeah. So he might be at 3 points, but so maybe if he draws this game, then he gets his chance to become a candidate master. So how many candidate masters do we have now? 3. Yes. Soon I will join. I'm kidding. I'm not that. As much as I'm trying to train these days, I'm not so serious with my training. As much as I'm trying to be serious these days, I'm not serious with my training. I improve when I... This is his 7th game, so he has to draw. He has to draw or win this game to get his candidate mastership. Yeah. Thank you, national champion. I mean, the national champion is watching my stream. That's the best gift you can ever have. Yeah. So he has to draw or win this game. And I mean, 2263. If he wants to draw the game, he's well on his way to draw the game. Can we be risky? Can we play risky chess? Wait, he didn't take the pawn instantly. Okay. He feels he can take it at any point in time. I think if you trade here, I think I should be happy, right? Because now I can take. No. Maybe bishop takes. Which takes? Huh. I mean, you can just play this knight is bad, so you don't really expect your opponent to capture it. So for just like a good measure, you can just play h6 so that you don't have to deal with back rank problems, and then figure out what your opponent is trying to do. If he goes back, then maybe you can continue from there. But this move is not attractive. Rook to d7 is not attractive because of the bishop. It could be plausible since maybe you have like this ideas, or even here. Because like if here takes, bishop comes in here. Oh, actually bishop comes in here, you just run into a problem. So not so easy. Wait, you don't run into a problem. You can just go this way, right? Ah, no, you do. The knight is blocking. Oh, sucks. Yeah, so the engine recommends just h6 here. The second move it recommends is b6. And I think it's for the exact same reason I'm talking about, which is this. But so far I prefer Clinton's position. So that we are on track. As long as Clinton is doing well, we are on track. We need either a win or a draw. Any of these two will suffice. He should be able to do it. He should be able to do it. I mean, these days, like I said, my respect for him, as in like his chess moves, has really grown. So he should be able to do it. But Edupoko, I think you beat Clinton during the nationals. What was your impression of his play? If you faced him comparatively throughout the years, what do you think is his level of play? Like how would you rate him now? Okay, we're back to the female section. Again, like I mentioned, I always have to preface this. Gertrude played the London system, but she didn't handle the system well. That is why she's having the worst position now. It's not because the London system is a bad opening. Let me just reference that, okay? Guys, the London system is 100% playable. It's the best opening in the world. The reason why Magnus Carlsen is not yet 3,000 rated FIDE or 2,900 is because he doesn't play the London system. The moment he starts playing the London system exclusively, he'll get 2,900. And you can quote me on this. So knight takes, pawn takes, and then this was one of the... What? Okay, maybe he's looking at this. But are you okay with this? Is he really okay with this? Is she really okay with these types of trades? Because I don't think that works. You think he's the most consistent player around nowadays? Huh? Consistent. Okay. Yeah, that could also be the proof of why he's also doing very well. He's very consistent. He plays almost like every tournament that's around. Interesting. But I don't get that kind of availability these days. Oh well. President's Cup. I should be playing in the President's Cup. Hopefully. Wait. Bishop takes is actually bad. Yeah, I'm so dumb sometimes. I can't believe I missed this. I can't believe I missed this. Yeah, so you can't take. You would like to play my London system? Don't worry. Next week, Friday, you always have me. Fridays are my streamer versus viewer streams. The only reason for the past two, the only reason why this Friday and last week Friday I didn't play is because of the Olympiad coverage. Also consistent in terms of level. Everyone else plays really well sometimes and really badly sometimes. Clinton rarely plays a bad game. Huh. You know, that statement is truly reflective of me. Because sincerely speaking, I think my last performance at the nationals was, I don't know what happened. Because sincerely speaking, game one, game two, there's no way in hell I should have won those games. You know, and as the games went on, it was crazy. Yeah, I'm also not consistent. But how do you then maintain consistency as a chess player? Like, how do you maintain consistency in performance? Because it's even when I used to play competitively, right? I would play 15, 20, 30 puzzles a day. I would play 10 rapid games a day. 30 plus 0, I mean. I would play those every single day. I would participate in tournaments. I have a lot of trophies on chess.com. I'd be doing all these things. Yet I have this strange today he's on, today he's off kind of performance. I really wonder how they do that. And it's true, because a lot of times when Clinton is going to play and I see the kind of opponent he's playing, I can just say Clinton is going to win, and he's definitely going to win. Right? It's not like you are not so sure. Is he really going to win? Is he not going to win? Kind of thing. It's just a definite thing. So yeah. Okay. Consistency. I mean, consistency is the proof of love, one. And consistency, what's the second quote about consistency? Something else. Another quote about consistency. When is the President's Cup? It's usually in September. I don't remember. But I think it's going to be, it might be in October because of the Olympiad. I like playing the President's Cup because usually we have representation from all around Africa. So that's usually why I like it. And I want to beat Kennedy Onupite. So that's another reason. There are some people I have to beat over the board that I haven't beaten yet. Edupoku, Kennedy Onupite, Clinton, and Clinton, Bernard Anhuere, and Philip Ameku. These are the people. Is there anybody else I want to beat over the board? I've beaten Thompson, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, just these 5. I have to beat all these guys. And unfortunately, I don't know if I'll get to beat Kwabena Edupoku. Maybe he'll play in the nationals. I don't know if he'll defend his title this year, but if he does defend his title this year, I'll try my best. I really want to beat him over the board. Yeah, maybe. No, they released the calendar, but it was to be announced or something like that. So we'll see. I mean, if it doesn't come on, I'm still playing national, so it's fine. The only problem is that I don't have over the board experience. It's been a while I've played over the board. I mean, I don't have. My list is very ambitious. I mean, but it's possible. It's plausible. It's very plausible. My brother was my brother who was telling me. Someone was telling me that my estimation of everybody's skill is actually very bad because I think I'm close to them, but I'm farther than I actually am. It was Kennedy Onupite. He told me, I was speaking to him, he said that, oh, it's actually possible for me. He says I'm capable of doing it, but it is not going to happen. He gave me like some time frame. I was giving myself like a year or something, and he was giving me a longer time frame. And he was talking about how that I'm underestimating how good they actually are, you know? And I don't know. I really don't know. So in my mind's eye, I feel like if I can be, which I am not, if I can be a certain level of consistent, I should be able to beat them. But if what Kennedy is saying is true, then it will take me a long time. But I think I can do it. I think I can do it. I really think I can do it. I really think I can do it. You know, there's a simple plan I can actually do. I'll just hire some very beautiful girls to hover around them and confuse them whilst they are playing. Okay, we can debate its plausibility, of course. The fact that I also played just like one tournament in a very long time, I mean, yeah, you know, because if what I'm saying is true, like if what I'm saying is true, no, actually, yeah, if what I'm saying is true, how am I trying to put this? I'm trying to prove myself wrong, and I'm saying if what I'm saying is true. Like my point is, for example, I have a losing record against Maxwell. Most often, if I play against Maxwell, I'm going to lose, right? And Maxwell can't hold a candle to Edupoku. You know, so if Maxwell is better than me, then why am I saying I can beat Edupoku? You know, that's I think where the mindset comes from. But I don't know. Who knows? Like who knows? Let's go to Toby's game. I'm talking a lot today. So what happened here? So yeah, we got a trade of the bishops. And this position is, yeah, I mean, this is already looking good. The queen can just really start, right? The queen can just really start. This may not be the best option, but the queen can just really start causing problems here. But if I could be like a tad bit serious, like I always keep saying it, but I can't just get myself to be a tad bit serious. There are a few like there are these one or two things that make me not really serious. If I can fix them, maybe I'll be serious. But this it's very difficult for me to be serious with chess. But I'm trying. Like this year, I've really tried. I've been much better with my training. I have really tried. It doesn't match up to when I was like in level 100 of University of Ghana. But right now, it's like that. And that's the point I'm trying to make, right? If Maxwell is not that good, again, I'm not insulting him. I think he would agree, right? Because we are both not that good, right? If Maxwell is not that good, and I can't even beat Maxwell, what's the chance that I'm going to beat these guys? You know, and I played against, I was even talking recently about the nationals, and I went through the nationals again. And I realized that I didn't beat anybody new, right? I beat the people we already know. Like I beat Mr. Thompson, I beat Mr. Sosu, I beat I forget his name. I beat not Philip. What's his brother's name? I beat the other Ameku. I didn't beat any new person. The new people I faced, which are okay, Akins is not really that new, but he's kind of new. So the new people I faced, which was Akins and Mauli Richardson, I lost to them. Mauli's game, I still kick myself because I could have actually drawn that game. It's just that I suck at end games. I could have actually drawn that game. You can always, I mean, if you're on the YouTube channel, if I mention a name or I mention a game, the video is there. You can just quickly check what I mean and come back. I could have drawn the game against Mauli, but that was him like a year ago. He could be a total different beast by now, right? Dave could be a total different beast by now. So I don't know. Like maybe I am overestimating myself. But I mean, I really would want to beat them before they retire. I would really want to beat them before they retire. So I don't know how I'll do it. And time is running out. I don't really suspect that I'll do very well in this nationals, but I'll do what I can. I'll do my best. If I can go nationals is how many? 7, right? 7 rounds, or it's 9 rounds. If I can go 5 out of 9, I'm okay. And that will depend on so many things. So yeah. So what did Toby play? Toby actually did play Queen B2. Nice. She wins the pawn. The problem with this move, why it's not, I don't think the engine will actually support this whole idea completely, is that if your opponent tries to start attacking you, your queen is far away from the defense. Black doesn't really have enough defenders, in my opinion. So that's the problem. So that's the problem here. So this is overambitious. It works. It's completely fine, but it's an overambitious thing to do, because you are really expecting that your opponent is going to not going to do anything crazy against you. Rook E2. Is he really trying to hold that pawn? Ah, this knight is so good. Wait, Rook E2 doesn't run into this? Ah, no, because now pawn pushes the problem. I was trying to, for example, get the knight to jump back and then go this way. Yes, phase one. I mean, this nationals is going to be just the new guard. I mean, the way I think I'm seeing it, I'm expecting Maoli, Mauto, Dave, Sarkodie, Hebba, what are the other guys' names? I'm expecting them all to be there. I'm expecting this to be one of the most youngest nationals. So if I can't beat these guys, I should just retire. I should join. I mean, I have retired in a sense, but I should just join Maxwell and completely remove myself. Yeah. I'm sure Maxwell is watching the stream saying, what is this guy saying? Boy, so Queen A5. Yeah. And now the Queen is going to go through this long journey of coming back here. You know, so the Queen traveled to win a pawn and just come back. This is going to be the funniest chess possession you've ever seen. The Queen is like, oh, there's a free pawn. Takes the pawn and then slowly comes back to where she was. I mean, what is White going to do? You can't really move on the Queen side. You could try this, right? Try something like this, but then you're really opening yourself up. So it's not easy to make any efforts on the any attempts on the Queen side. Maxwell catches strays. You should watch a lot of the some of the past interviews he did if they were still there. Even the interview we did with him. My landing system. Oh no. My landing system and me as a person, I'm always catching strays from Maxwell. So I'm always going to also do the same thing to him. I'll always attack his French and I'll always attack his I'll always attack his French and I'll always attack his chess skills. He's always going to catch those strays from me. You should expect it by now. Maxwell should expect it by now. You know, some people I'm really eager to see. I mean, because he seems very ambitious. I like his passion. I'm eager to see Josh play in Josh Tego. That's his name on this. I'm eager to see him play a FIDE rated tournament. I'm eager to see. I don't know who Chaka is. I'm eager to see him play. There were some two girls I was hoping that they would train them, but I've not seen or heard from them in a while. So I'm thinking that by now they maybe they don't really play. He supports me on the French, but I mean he should agree to that. I don't know why he doesn't want to agree to it. Everybody knows that the French is bad. But yeah. So I'm eager to see some of the University of Ghana chess players play. I'm eager to see them play. I mean, you can easily deceive yourself by playing on chess.com that you are good. So I'm eager to see him play, to see like where he actually measures up and then what his future could be, right? So that's one of the things I'm eager to see. And I'm sure to even motivate him, if he comes and he sees that, okay, wait, I'm not where I actually thought I was, it would motivate him. Or if he comes and then he totals everybody, to be like, wow, I'm actually good, I can aim for higher. That means that now he stops thinking about just getting a high rating. He starts thinking about, maybe I can be a candidate master, I can be a FIDE master, can be an IM, like I can do so many things, you know. I'm just a little bit sad that the females aren't talking a lot. They are, I think. I mean, from the UG page, I think they are decent players. I think they are decent players. And also, it would depend on what your definition of good is. Does this work? Are we just being fancy? Or does this just work? Is this a very bad move? Rook takes, queen, knight takes. Wait, it's saying the rook should take something else. Oh yeah, I'm dumb. The rook is defending here. I don't know what I'm even thinking about sometimes. You may not think they are good, but maybe they are good. I don't know. Again, that's why I want them to play in the FIDE tournament. Because from the conversations you guys have on the page, I'm always thinking that like you guys are good. So I really want you guys to play in a tournament so that we can really know where you guys are. We can really measure you guys from there. I'm just trying to be very adventurous here. I mean, I think the whole point of him doing this is to come this way. But if you do get there, like if you do get here, so Yeah, rook goes back. But I'm looking at this move, because if your aim is to come in this way, you're just getting hit with this, right? So there's no point in doing this. So maybe queen back, we are going to get this. Sorry, knight is moving here. We can move the knight here still. I don't know. No FIDE tournaments in Cape Coast. Damn. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. So I'm guessing you just suffice with the online tournaments that are there. It will take a while before maybe you can get FIDE tournaments there. But you can speak to Mr. Philip about it. He's very open to such ideas. So you can maybe speak to Mr. Philip about it, that you want to, if you can, you'd like to organize FIDE tournaments. He'll tell you what you need. If you think you can fulfill those conditions, then you can work towards it. If you can't fulfill those conditions, maybe you now have sort of like a goal. So you can just find some like-minded people, like Maxwell has done. Maxwell has done a phenomenal job. I mean, I think from not being known as well at all in Ghana chess to doing all the things he has done. Like, Maxwell is somebody I'd like to be in the chess world. You know, he has really done a lot. I mean, I've talked a lot without much action, but Maxwell has done more action. And he's one person I wish my channel was like. Right, the way I want PM chess to be, I wish I was like that. Yeah, it's the way. Who is Mr. Philip? He's the current president of Ghana chess, but I think this is his last year, so you would have to speak to him first so that he can work with you. So yeah, queen to d8, and we are still waiting to see what he does. Okay, so queen to d8 is what we spoke about. Again, the whole funny maneuver here with the queen to win the pawn, to come in here, and then come back to join the defense. It's completely fine. I don't know at what point this move could be made. At this moment, you can't really make it because after take, your rook is hanging. Okay, it's not hanging. Actually, yeah, you can't play this move now, because now if your opponent takes and you take, you can just simply take back, right? And then we have this position. So you could argue for that position. Oh, Godfather is really stretching it. Godfather is really stretching. There are some people who have put up a better fight, I would say, because without their effort, Maxwell would not have made chess in Ghana, I would say. So I think there are people who are much more deserving of the title of Godfather. But he's definitely done. I'm not trying to undersell what he has done. He's done a lot, and I really appreciate him for it. Let's go to G-Job. I'm enjoying today's stream. The interactions are very cool. I know somebody's like, focus on the chess. And I'm like, trust me, you don't want me to focus on the chess. We would suffer. We'd suffer here because I'd be guessing all the way through. I'm just kidding. I've learned a lot about opening. I've learned a lot of openings just by watching this. And I've just been practicing some of them on my secret account. Yeah, so I'm sure everybody just expects that I'm going to play a landing system. You'd be shocked. You would be shocked. Anyways, queen d6. Where did we stop here? Okay, so we had the castles, then we had bishop f6, rook to c1, pawn push, and now the knight jumps in here. Okay, that's completely fine. All these positions are completely fine. And okay, this is not really that big of a deal, at least for now. Wait, where will this knight actually go? Okay, the knight can come in here. That's completely fine. There's no forward motion for this knight. Okay, you can come in here as well, but I think maybe you want to go in this way. I think that's the safest place to be. Oh, we have queen b6. Okay, I did not see that. I don't like the knight looks loose, which is why I was more or less considering moves where the knight moves rather than keeping the knight here. It looks a bit loose, in my opinion here. What do we do? Can we double up? I think doubling up here may not be efficient. It could work, I think. Rook. Now you give your opponent some stuff. Okay, maybe now back. Here. Takes. I don't know. Queen b6. It says the pawn is not worth that many queen moves. But but I guess it doesn't matter since white isn't doing. Yeah, exactly. That's why, like, the moment it was played, I was like, this doesn't really make, like, I get it, but you are going to remove a defender. But from the way her opponent played, it was fine. It was completely fine. Normally you don't allow that, but it was completely fine. Wow, how is Hebba having 1 hour and her opponent at 15 minutes? Okay, we see the attack, but does this attack really work? Let's go back. I want to see what's happening here. Okay, this was that position. Pawn push takes, the rook comes in, knight jumps in, queen goes back. F3. He doesn't play F3. People fear F3, but of course the fear is warranted, right? There's stuff that you have to be careful of. Wait, no, that's actually F3 could have been just played there. Yeah, F3, and then you have a very, like, okay, he goes back, and then you have a very nice position, because, yeah. And if you can, H4, G4, G4, G5, G5, G4. I think all those are fine. Maybe could have been played. Bishop comes in, G6, 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 and now the sacrifices come in, right? So what's the sacrifice first? Let's see the knight is sacrificed first. Pawn takes, bishop takes, rook takes, and then yeah, and what did your opponent gain? Nothing, right? Because you just come in here. And if the queen is to run away, I don't know where exactly. Let's say here. Now you go on your actually you can't. Yeah, I forgot. The queen goes here and defends here. Maybe. So what happened exactly? So not G6, she played H. And now we get bishop takes. And in this line, your opponent just sacrificed 1 piece. In the other line, it's 2 pieces, right? Takes. Bishop takes. And now bishop just comes back. So what was the point? Rook is trying to come into the position. Nah, this is just fine. We can easily remove all the pressure on us. This move just aims at releasing all the pressure from us. Okay, may not remove all the pressure, but it at least solves some of the problems, right? Because now that you are up material, you want to stop your opponent's pressure moves as much as possible, and this move just aims at doing that. I'm just wondering, like, how do you continue after this? That's what I'm wondering. We can just jump back. And now you are very limited in your responses, right? The best you can do is to come in here. And how do we continue? How do we continue putting pressure? How do we continue with the counter attack? I would like to go here, but it doesn't work. I think aiming for this pawn might be a very bad idea. I'm still analyzing the superficial position. Let's get to the actual position. This is all superficial. Takes here. Takes. She goes back. Oh, she actually plays queen f4. Nice. Hebba is doing very well. Just neutralize the attack. Make sure your opponent has nothing, and then you can win the game from there. I mean, she still has things to figure out. Oh, actually, after this, because I've said knight takes, but then we have this, right? Yeesh. Does it work? Nope. Because now you are targeting this. And should your opponent play, like, actually pawn push is never impossible, right? You might be just fine here. You might just be fine here. Let's see. If queen to h5, knight to f6. Knight to f6 is also what the engine is saying, but it's also saying queen takes d. I don't like queen takes d4. Personally, I don't like queen takes d4 because of these type moves. And here it says just simply go back queen f6. Maybe the point is that you want to come in here again. I don't know how viable of an option that is. So okay. I think she should be able to win this. Regardless, I think she should be able to win this. Back to Hasford's game. Ouch. Wait, did I say Philip is the FIDE president? No, he's the national president. He's the national chess. He's the Ghana Chess Association president. What was I saying? It just replayed in my head. IQ piece for you. I really hate these kinds of positions. H4. Oh, he's played King G1. It's amazing that his opponent is really trying to attack at this point in the game. I would think that such an idea is not viable, but he just goes for it. Is this viable? Takes. Maybe you didn't even want your opponent to take, right? Maybe. Right, because you can play this. If your opponent takes, I think you'd be happy with such an idea, because now you can shimmy your king over here. I think you'd be happy with something of that sort. King G1. Give me a second. Oh boy. Okay. I'll just checking a few things. So what is the endgame proponent here? Okay, just simply G4 first. Okay, G4 makes sense, because after the knight moves, as for where it moves is a mystery sort of. Then you can keep, okay, you can keep developing with tempo. As opposed to what I was saying, you can just keep developing with tempo, and I think that's completely fine as well. This is the line I was suggesting, but you can just develop with tempo here. I think that makes perfect sense. So here, question is, where does the knight go? Maybe this is not. No. It's not possible. I want to think about if I can get a knight here, but it's not possible. You have to figure out something here. At least for me. Queen A4. And then H6. Okay, I think the point of H6 is to go this way as well, right? So G4, knight E1. F4. Knight C3. And everything is just unfurling itself. I think at some point you might think about ideas of this. I think those things just help as well. So you could go for ideas of this as well. I think that's completely fine. Quickly looking at Akwanda's game. Oh yeah, we mentioned it, yeah, that this would happen. Once the rook is slotted here, it's going to be very difficult. You could take here to try and reduce the likeliness of anything, but I mean, this is just trouble. This is just a trouble for you. Maybe you can argue that take here is a move. You takes and then you come in here. Wait. Queen takes A7. Okay. Yeah, not looking good for Akwanda. We already mentioned it that this could happen in the position, especially because of how like trapped this guy is. Next game, Bernard. I mean, Bernard these days, if he has a bad position, I don't just give up on him because he's done some magical stuff. Yeah, so here Knight jumps back. Why there though? Maybe once you just activate his bishop to a better square. Okay, e3, preventing the entrance of the knight to any of these squares. And I'm guessing that his next ideas are going to be in regards to this move. Maybe back and then knight comes in. Okay, but wait, he had the opportunity to do this, or did he not? He didn't. Like, trying to get a knight here, I think would be a very good plan long term for him. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Ediboku, would you be able to join me on Sunday? I don't know. I've been having a problem with the joining, but since I've done it with you without problems, I don't know if we could do that. I mean, again, if you can't, that's fine. There's no problem with that. If you were to join me on Sunday, that'd be fine. It's been a while. I've disturbed you. What are we doing here? Wait, Antonio, Kyle. True. He also needs a draw as well. That's interesting stuff. That's interesting stuff. Yeah. They should just go for a draw. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, now their playstyle makes sense. Or will Clinton just be going, oh, let's draw. Then when he sees the weakness, then he's like, pounce on his opponent. I mean, if they still want to continue in that trend, we'll see something like this. And if bishop takes, rook takes, then we'll see rook here, then we'll see rook here, then we'll see h3, then we'll see rook takes, we'll see rook takes, we'll see rook takes, we'll see knight takes. Oh, wow. Okay, I had no idea about that. Sunday's round starts a little bit too early for you. Wait, what time are they starting? They'll be starting at 1. Whoa, will I be back before then? I'm just back by 12. We'll see. We'll see. I think tomorrow I don't have a class, right? I think tomorrow I don't have a class. If tomorrow I don't have a class, then maybe I'll text you. If you can't, fine. If you can't, that's also fine as well. I actually forgot the last day. They'll do it later. Oh, guys, I want to even take a break. Like, I've streamed every day, you know? This has actually been the best of PM chess streaming, but it's also been the worst for me, health-wise. Because sometimes I have to be awake to ensure that the video is uploaded, you know? I can't just upload it and go to bed. My PC has this tendency of just doing its own stuff, so I have to always keep watching it. So since this tournament started, I've been sleeping at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. every day. And when I sleep at 5, I wake up at 8. So I've only been sleeping like 3 hours every day. Normally, I could even stretch my sleep to about like 10 a.m. But yeah. I've not had lots of sleep. So if you've ever seen me dozing during the streams, that's why. So I don't know if I'll continue. If the next day being Monday, I'll stream on Monday. Maybe I'll just take a break and just collapse and then go to bed, you know? Yeah, we'll see. So I'm just doing some funny lines to see like how can they continue trading to an evenish endgame, because that's what this game is transforming into. Anyway, guys, let me take a short break. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay. I'm sorry. It took a while, but we are back. Bishop to b5, rook to d2. Still going for the draw. Sorry, I took a while. I'll have to go in like just a few minutes, but that one I wouldn't switch screens. I think we'll just be fine. So what happened here? We did get all these moves. Okay. Yeah, okay, so he puts the knight into g2, so that's why he played the king back earlier, so that he could actually, he foresaw all these moves and got his knight here in order to defend against the incoming attack, right? Wait, could he instead have gone? Now that would have been too slow, because I was looking at something along these lines, and then here. Could he have gone? So I think what then would have actually happened is this, and this possibly would not have worked. Come on, queen a6 is just not fair. How do you see a move like queen a6? Bishop to e3, maybe. These are the moves that, I mean, it's considering, but it doesn't really make much sense to me. I mean, because he's the aggressive side, that's why he's spending so much time thinking. He has 12 minutes to make. Sorry, he has 8 minutes to make 12 moves. I mean, that's plausible. He can do that. But I mean, even though the engine is giving him such a very good advantage, I don't really see it. The attack may not be as strong as it's claiming. Would we want to do something of this sort then? I mean, then this. How do you rectify this? Because even if pawn push here is just bad, right? So I don't know. It just says it's bad, but it doesn't look so bad. Maybe this he comes out of this, he survives. This though is bad. I think it's a better outcome for Akwanda. Though it will be very difficult for him to actually deal with this. He might. How does he even do this? Queen to d7, bishop to c8, queen to b7, bishop here, and then he can start focusing on other stuff. Other than that, or he starts bringing the king to the square. But I think, I mean, it may not be as bad as it was, in my opinion. I think he's doing. I think he's surviving. I think he's holding on. Someone just sends me an old picture. Anyways, it's interesting. Wait, what happened? F4. Wait, it was white smooth. Now that you're stuck here, no. I think if white starts something like this, it may not really work. Oh boy. Let's look at Bernard. He plays f3. Ah, ha ha ha. He is actually aiming for it. Hmm. B doesn't work. Actually, B works. No, it doesn't work. So what does he do here? How does he? Because you can't say that, okay, because I want to avoid this guy now, I'm going to go the long route again. Doesn't really make sense. You could, but maybe it's too far of a move. Let's see. Says go e4 first. Then there's also knight to c2. So these moves, yeah, they make perfect sense. Wait. Yeah, with e4, can't your opponent? Is this possible? Like, does this cause any problems for white? E4, g4. I mean, you don't have to take, or you have to, because I'm looking at just playing f4. Of course, your opponent also doesn't have to take, but now with this, you can free your bishop. And I don't know. Sorry, it looks likely like okay, holdable. At this point, it looks like they are playing for. Wait, what? Does this not happen? Rook to b8 takes. Rook takes c8. This guy is still hanging. b4 takes. Yeah, this is okay. Oh, this is fine. Let's go back to the girl section. Gertrude losing not because of the landing system. Okay, she managed to bounce back. Let's see how she did that. Okay, so the opponent did what I did. And that was wrong, according to the engine. And after these trades, Gertrude is looking slightly better. So guys, even in a losing position, the landing system is good, right? So even in a losing position, even when you don't handle the landing system well, you still get these types of positions where you are still favored. So this is why you have to play the landing system. I don't know how much more I have to say it on this stream, or how much more I have to say it for you guys, but yeah, you should be playing the landing system. You should be playing the landing system. King g7. We're going to get either king g2 or king f1. Either ways, they defend. Rook a to b. Mostly you want your opponent to take so that you control the squares, right? If you take and your opponent takes back, he now controls. But yeah. So Gertrude is looking good, if not winning, right? If not winning. So either here or here. Okay, rook takes e8. That's also another option. And after rook takes, then you have the king comes in. Gertrude, if Gertrude wins this, she gets 3 points. Yeah, she gets 3 points. That's not enough. King f1. There's no real active move. You could try this, but then I think if we trade off, it's a win for white, right? If this trades off happens, it's a win for white, right? I have to do. I think it's a win for white if the trade happens. No, it prefers black. Okay. Uh, maybe this is an idea. So what's the move here? Rook d8. Rook d8, king e2, or rook e1. Okay, engine doesn't like either. Because I'm looking at getting the rook active here. But you can also try and get the active rook this way. Right? So maybe pawn push if your opponent takes. Then you have this. And the point here is that now your opponent doesn't really have anything. You've developed in a different way. This position will be clearly winning for white. This position will definitely be clearly winning for white. Um, mm, a second. Oh, not again. I don't have my screen. Oh boy. My monitor keeps messing up. Okay, so we have king to f6. a6. Rook to d1. I think she's going to go rook to d1. Because in this scenario, the reason why I personally wouldn't want to trade, yeah. The reason why you wouldn't want to trade up the queens is that your opponent's king is already too active, right? Oh boy. He could come this way. Actually, if he does this, I think it's still it's not so bad because now you have the first move. King comes in here, king comes in here. And if you do come in here, we have this. And now we can argue about Zugzwang. Who has Zugzwang? Yeah. A6. A6 is a very bold move. Okay, it makes sense because now if you go here, check, the rook just comes in. Not looking easy. A4 is still a possibility. You can go here as well. I think with the same idea of A4 at some point. Or rook here with the ideas of F3, F4, F4, F3, G4. Oh, okay, that's a bit... I mean, they both achieve a similar kings thing, so this... Yeah, rook e6, rook e5. What happened to my other monitor? Rook d5. Let's check Tubi's game. Oh, come on. Give me a second. Oh, Hebba won. Nice. That's nice. It's nice to see that Hebba won. The screen is still not stable. Let's quickly hop on there. Okay, so after Queen F4. What? Her opponent played this move, which basically just... Wait, why? Okay, I was thinking she was just going to trade off there. Oh, I'm dumb. The bishop is hanging. The bishop is pinned. You could then go here. Okay, let's not question it. She won, so it's no problem. Bishop finally takes. Knight jumps in. There's no threat here. Finally, bishop takes the sacrifice. If you take back, I take, and then it's a fork. Okay. She blundered a piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Oh, ho. And this is when she resigned. I think she believes this is mate. Either that or it doesn't really make much sense here. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, well, her opponent resigned. What else can we say? Nice. So she defeats another one. That's how many wins? 2 wins. Okay, she can't get the Canadian Master title. She has played 6 games. Wait. She has 2 wins and a draw. If she can win her next game, then she also gets Candidate Master. That's interesting. This whose game? Jijo. Where did we stop here? What was it? The position is not looking. I don't remember the position. The position is not looking memorable to me. Give me a oh, not this screen again. It keeps disconnecting. Okay, so I remember this. Queen comes in, and I was talking about the pressure. He goes F. After knight takes, the knight develops. There's a problem here. There's a problem here. You might have to play pawn push to defend one. He allows the queen to take. Takes. If knight takes, rook takes. This is better for white, right? Because you can't really defend this. Your rook can't hold that position as well. Knight jumps in. Rook to c4. Okay, I mean safety first, but you could also do this. Wait, that's actually slower. Yeah, that's actually slower. Okay, so this is fine. King to f7. Maybe this is where we start moving to. F here. Takes. The knight moves, and then we can finally win this. Please stop doing this, PC. Woo. Wait, I just realized. After king f7, we have this. We don't really have to chase this guy, right? I mean, you could argue for allowing this, but I think it's completely fine to allow it. Maybe before you do that, you want to come in this way. Okay, you have 2 pawns up, and I mean that's fine. Okay, Toby, after this roundabout, knight comes in. Whoa, that was a blinded knight. Okay, so Toby is also winning her game. Now you can even try offering to trade off queens. It may not be a good idea, but you can try it. Because you're up material, right? You're up a piece and a pawn. She goes bishop to g6 here. I think that the females are just going to clear this one. I think the females are just going to clear this one and it's going to be fine. Nah. Let's go back and see if Clinton's game is drawn. Wait, this is now not looking good for Clinton. Maybe I'm overestimating, but this doesn't look like Engine says it's drawn. Yeah, this is my understanding of chess. It doesn't look comfortable, but Engine is like, this is completely fine. Okay, like I said, I'll be back in a few. I'm not switching screens. I'll just be back. Give me a second. Oh, I almost fell down. Yosh. G4. Bernard's game, right? Okay, so he did play E4. So wait, that means he traded off the knights. Yeah. Bishop comes in, E4. Wait, isn't this a problem? Don't we? Oh, this is not good. The queen defense, yeah. Or how about, like, for example, a funny move like this? Take. I wanted it to work. Okay, not working. Still have to be done. G6. I don't know. I still believe this game is holdable. Maybe an expert can correct me, but it just feels holdable. How did we get here? Okay, this is the game with the whole. Okay, knight goes back. Queen comes in. Yeah, okay. I was thinking like a patsa. Knight. Oh boy. So queen f3. Can we just go knight e1? Rook e. Knight e1 now. What's up, Leah? Leah, what's up? No, that's not me. That's not me. Sorry. That's not me. I'm 1677. That's my elo is 1677. I'm just doing commentary on Ghana's games. So nah, I'm not that high. I'm okay. Is there a chance for like something along these lines? 677. I mean, it's okay. Bishop to e4, knight here. I'm trying to see if that's like a possibility at some point. Let me see what the engine thinks. Okay, the move I mentioned. The move I mentioned was this. I'm from Ghana. You are 500 elo at best. We all start from somewhere, so don't worry. You can always improve. Just learn the basics and carry on from there. Knight e1, queen b7. You have many Ghanaian friends there in the UK. Hey, that's nice. And Nigerian as well. That's cool. Yeah, I think there are quite a number of them there. Yeah, it's cool. Did they play chess as well, or maybe just know them through work, or you know them through like school or something? Okay. Again, this whole idea, nah, I don't like it there. And should the knight leave the defense, I think then your opponent can start thinking about this. Trying to figure out lines. Oh, this is bad. This is wrong, but it's fine. Okay. So it's not so. I mean, it's cool. We have a lot of like people who are very determined. The only problem is that we are not able to get a lot of those high level tournaments. So our ratings are very closed. So you might see somebody who is 1900, but he's actually somewhere like if he had the opportunity to travel, he'd be 2200, 2400, basically. So we don't have that many high level tournaments. We try our best though. Indeed, indeed. So it's good to see them even here, the Olympiad, and seeing what they are doing. Wait, okay, we're still on Queen B7. H4 is a funny move. Is Gertrude in the winning position yet? This is not going to be easy. Does she have this? Normally these types of moves are not what you want to do, because okay, we can triangulate, right? And this is losing. Okay, still drawn. I don't know how you hold it. How's my week been? Tiresome. Tiresome. Streaming these games is not easy. You love to hear that? That was true. King to f3. I think the point is you're trying to provoke something like this, in which case you can infiltrate. White is doing well if you can infiltrate. Oh, I see where this is going. Oh boy. King e6 is fine. If we go here, do we have this then? On push. Yeah, that pawn push would not be good here. So here, maybe this. We have takes, king takes. And we've repeated this whole position again. Pawn push here, I think it's losing. Here. Is this still the same ideology? With this here. Do we just go pawn push? Yeah, we can just go pawn push. Takes. Here. I see what? I feel like you're about to ask me about if you want to, if I need an editor, I should ask you. So when I see this, I always feel like I'm talking to an AI, because it's always the same thing, you know, and it's not fun. It's absolutely not fun. I don't really enjoy it. It's getting annoying for me. Oh boy. Anyways, if takes, we take, right? Here. No, I don't want one. I'm 100% not interested in getting one. I'm 100% not interested. I feel like I'm talking to an AI at this point, because the conversations always start the same, you know? They are very chatty and very interested, and then eventually they bring up something about editing or something about designs, and then it just gets tiring. It just gets tiring to see. I saw it and it just drained up all my energy. Yeah, then thank goodness, Leah. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. The amount of people I've had asking me that, it's sometimes, I mean, if I need one, I'll look for one, right? But it's like they just come in your face and they just want, it's so tiresome. Why though? Why is it tiresome? Why is it tiresome seeing all those things? Because you get the impression you're talking to a robot and not a human being. Why do they spam? I don't know. It is. It definitely is. Oh boy. This game is suddenly going nowhere. Well, I don't know. I don't know why they do that. That is true. That is true. Like I don't see. Okay, fine. Like I thought Toby was doing something, but it's like at this point things are just going back and forth. You can't really tell what's going on anymore. She's up a piece, so what's going on? She should be able to trade, I think. Which is why I was. Wait, where is this? There are. I am. Bishop h5. Bishop h5. Now you force the trade of queens, right? No, you don't force the trade of queens. Now there's. I mean, if your opponent wants to survive, they have to play G. Wait, no. Queen goes back. Knight jumps in. That allows this. So that's not cool. I was right all along. I was right. I was right all along. I was right. Oh boy. It's sad. Spent the last 10 minutes talking to a PC. That sucks. So sad, so annoying. I'm practically tired of it. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. Or I mean, since nothing's happening here, can't we simply just start going like for something on the queen side? Help in the future. Fine. If it's future, that's completely fine. You feel like I feel like I'm watching me design. I know, right? Like you used to stream, so maybe you understand what I'm talking about, right? It's just like sometimes you just wish you are talking to a human being, and all of a sudden just devolves into this whole thing about editors. And trust me, like you think by now I'd study the whole system, because like now I have a way I think they come. Like there's a way I think that they come, but I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. So it could be a human being texting like a bot, but I mean it's so annoying. And it's like when you start a conversation, you're like, okay, this is a nice conversation. We are just talking. So okay, nothing about editing comes in. Then you see one statement and you're like, oh no, not this again. It's like the same way I just see this, what do you call it, cheap viewers thing, you know. I just see it and I just get pissed off. I'm like, why? It's so annoying. I just can't wait to, like, I mean, once the stream is a little bit bigger, then I can get moderators. I just would like it's so sad. It's so sad. But I didn't know you were still here. There's still real humans here watching. I appreciate that. I know some of them are lucky, but I actually thought you went around. It's good to know a human being is actually on board. Like, I was literally about to just get pissed off. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. It's so freaking annoying. Oh boy. Oh yeah, so cool. Just a tip. I've been trying to get better at end games by playing openings that lead me directly into the end game and trying to play the end game from there. Is that a good idea, or how do you prefer that I learn the end games? I may not meet those end game positions in the London system or in like the other systems I play or in the other games that I play, but just to kind of get used to the technique of end games. Do you think that's a good idea, or should I just like should I go about studying the end game? I'm just struggling with studying the end game. Is Gertrude winning? I see this just ending as a draw. What the problem for me for Gertrude is the fact that these two pawn moves exist, right? Again, pawn moves are very valuable when it comes to these end games, and Gertrude just has one. Her opponent has two, so Zugzwang is more or less likely going to happen. Zugzwang is more or less going to happen for black than for white. So I always keep calculating. I'm always worried about this. It may not be necessary because maybe it's not two because you need this. So I'm always wondering about lines where the king comes in here with these. But I think the best is a draw. Wait, she didn't go f4 herself? In our calculation, we said f4. Because, wait, no? Yeah, that's not bad. The best way for practical endgames is just to play a lot of long games and analyze any endgame seriously. I mean, I mean, thanks, but if there's a time I would ever play an endgame and say I know what's happening here, that would make me so happy. You know, sometimes I'm playing endgames and I just don't know what's happening. It's like there are so many squares you can move your rook. How do you know which rook is fine? I have learned that sometimes it doesn't really matter where the rook goes. It's just there, but I don't know. It's so annoying. I hate it. F3. So here, this is the problem. It's actually king here. Yeah, so now I've isolated these pawns and you have a pass pawn here. So what's going to happen is that as you keep trying to defend against this pawn push, your opponent can take these guys and then focus on this side as well. So that's the problem. Your opponent can split the pawns. So not split the pawns. You can double your pawns and then get a pass pawn. And now you might say, okay, so if then you do this, I come in this way. Well, now the problem is that even though this happens, now your opponent, I think, can infiltrate one way or the other. Is it? No. King f5. If pawn push, you can now infiltrate. But you would have to be a little bit careful because, yeah, this pawn could run away. Okay, with king h4, then you can take. Okay, I think it just, yep. Endgame has gotten Gertrude. Oh, that means if she loses, I mean, the question is her opponent also good at the endgame? If she loses this, she can't get the, wait, this is her 5th game. She can still get it, yeah. She has 2 games to spare. So she has to play the next round and the round after that. Toby's game, has she finally started pushing? It's her opponent who seems to be pushing. Toby just taking her time. It's like nothing is developing from this game, which is very funny. Now we've looked at Gertrude's game. Jijo, has she managed to claw her way back? Oh, this Hebba. I said Chicho. Oh yeah, Chicho was always winning. I actually forgot. Huh. If you can get off the trade of rooks, this is completely winning. Like something like this. Like where should the rook go, you know? If you are playing as white, you know that there's a kind of difference. Like how do you know? Should you be here? Should you be here? Should you be here? Should you be here? I know some of the endgames, it doesn't really matter where you go. You can just waste a move. But yeah, I mean, it's so annoying. This one is actually very difficult. If it was just one pawn, maybe it's possible. But in this position, it's not so possible. Has Clinton drawn? Akwanda has lost. Clinton's game is still going on. Wait, I don't think these guys are playing for it. I mean, if they are playing for a draw, this is the most complex draw you can never play. Inji still says it's draw. I'm sure Idupoku is also looking at this and saying, what does this guy mean that it's not a draw? I mean, how do you see this and say draw? It looks like white has every threat. Oh boy, man is getting tired. Oh boy. So today I'll look at Hebba's game, Gigi's game, and then 2 games from the male section. Maybe because Clinton becomes candidate, I'll look at Clinton's game. Wow, this game quickly went into nothing. From how exciting it started all the way into this. That is a shock. Wait. Capture some person, what do you do? We just capture this way, yeah. Wait. E takes D5. Oh, this D5 move I mentioned now becomes a move. I'm sure Hasford sees it. I personally wouldn't see this over the board, but maybe Hasford sees it. Right? Bernard's game. Bishop comes in. Wow. How people are comfortable with such moves. Anyways, it's 4:30. I would love to stay with you guys. I enjoyed the beginning of this stream. I enjoyed seeing Edupoku. I enjoyed seeing all of you here. But today being Friday, I have to be elsewhere. So I need at least like an hour to just refresh my notes and everything. Tomorrow we'll continue, and then I pray Sunday I will be on time. I pray. I forgot they are starting earlier, but I pray Sunday I'll be on time. Thank you guys so much for being around, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Peace. Check out the channel. There are videos here if you want to just see me rant about so many other things, or just see me playing games and see how invincible the landing system is. There are many games on the YouTube channel. If you're on Twitch, you can always check the YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, you can just go to the video section, and that will be great. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate your presence here. Have a great rest of your day.